Now I know I said last video I was going to do either a Call of the Night or a dress up video next on their second seasons, but I kind of just changed my mind since I literally made a video on both of their manga not too long ago. And since I quite literally already know everything that's going to happen in it, I feel like it ain't right for me to make a video on it as well if I know what's going on already. I think I'm gonna just watch the two of those in my own time, honestly. Anyways, as usual, we are back on our romance binge. I say that, but it's literally like only 2 to 3 anime this season that is romance, but we are back on it. We got a little bit, so let's just get straight to it. So like many other anime, this one started off with MC calling himself an introvert with no friends, the lonely loser. You've seen the type multiple times, but what you don't usually see is them actually trying to improve themselves and actually make friends. When she started getting older, she decided to reinvent herself, be more outgoing. Even though there's really nothing wrong with being a little introvert, I really don't be talking to people like that either. But you know, she was feeling lonely, so it's a little different. Unlike her, I can operate fine without being with other people. Got a little off track. Anyways, nowadays she's trying to force herself out there, and through her newfound personality, she somehow made it into the popular friend group. I always put quotations on popular because they're not celebrities, they're just like known locally. Anyway, since we have a perfect lineup of it right here, I'm actually going to use this frame right here to introduce all the characters a little earlier than I need to. On the far left, we got Senna. Obviously, girl in the pink is MC. Girl with the blue hair is Kaho. I'm introducing her, but she genuinely doesn't do anything in this whole season. You'll see later. But then the one with the blonde hair is Mai, and the black haired one is Kodo. Like I said, I introduced them way early. You don't really need to remember their names yet, but since I had the perfect frame, you know I had to get it done. Getting back on track though. Now, even though MC got what she wanted by putting herself out there, she's finding the uptake of being with the popular girls pretty demanding. You know, just like a year ago, she was staying at the crib all the time by herself. So now she's in this group with the popular people, and now she's feeling like the odd one out, the ugly duckling, which is bound to put some mental on your nerve or some nerve on your mental, however that saying goes. But you see, not fitting in is not the only thing she's gonna have to worry about, because out of nowhere, Mai is finna confess to her. You're probably hearing that thinking, what's the issue? Most people would take that as a W. Going from a lonely loser to someone who bagged a popular girl should be seen as a win. But MC truly just wants a friendship. She's not looking for any romance, which is a respectable take. But sadly for MC, Mai isn't going to respect her respectable takes. After Mai confessed to MC, MC told her, nah, I'm just looking for friends, which most people would respect unless you're Mai, because in her case, losing is never an option. And instead of taking the rejection as any person would, Mai kind of continuously insists that their feelings are mutual, and MC's just being a total tsundere about it. Fuck, I cringe saying that shit. Anime lingo genuinely sucks, I ain't gonna lie. You can't say that shit without feeling like a loser. But anyways, since Mai won't take the rejection, the two of them end up having to come to this compromise. Having to meet in the middle to reject somebody is crazy. But they made a deal to where they would be temporarily dating to see if it would work out, like a talking stage, but 3 times more intimate because they doing a couple things while not actually being committed to each other. And while they are dating, it actually becomes quite obvious that MC does feel something towards Mai, but as I said earlier, she's just looking for friends right now. Her main reasoning was she's scared to get in a relationship because if they ever break up, she's gonna lose her friends, and you know she didn't have any friends back then, so she feels like if she gets with someone and then leaves them, she's just gonna be lonely again, like there's not a billion other people in the world. But I understand what she's trying to say. So since her fear of commitment but not really being able to reject somebody, she gets stuck in the usual romance limbo, you know, when the characters are basically drifting in between dating and not dating. You see it a decent amount of times. I think Don to Don's a pretty good example. I'm only bringing that up because I literally just watched that. Now, if you've been around long enough, you know whenever a romance progresses pretty quickly, drama is always bound to come. I mean, everything I just said happened only in the first episode. I'm not really allowed to get into exact details, but Mai's been pretty pushy throughout the whole relationship. I mean, they just started dating probably a few days ago. She's already trying to do like a whole bunch of 1-year relationship mark activities. And one day she ends up crossing a line that she shouldn't have, especially in a new relationship. But in this case, the timing wasn't really the issue. The biggest issue was MC's sister walking in on them. And even even though they're technically dating, MC didn't really want anybody to know about what they had going on. So when MC's sister walked in on them, MC ended up getting pretty pissed because she specifically told her that she didn't want that shit to happen. She ended up smacking her and telling her to fuck off. Side note, but in case you were worried, MC's sister really didn't give a fuck about what she walked in on, just in case you was wondering. But after that event, Mai and MC ended up avoiding each other for a little bit, and that's where a middleman will have to step in. Kodo ends up coming to MC and pressing her. As I said a second ago, Mai and MC were keeping their relationship hidden, but after they had a whole little argument, Mai ended up running to Kodo to just vent and shit. So she ended up telling Kodo everything that happened. But let me not make it seem like Kodo's just here trying to bitch her. I call it checking and pressing, but it really isn't all that. She's not berating MC, saying she's fully in the wrong for any of this. She already knows how Mai be. So she ain't just throwing everything at MC saying, fuck you, it's your fault. She came to MC more to be the middleman, the wingman, if you may call it. Basically, she just tells MC to grow a pair and go back to Mai so they can talk it out. So, after the little pep talk, MC's gonna go to Mai to make up. But let's just say reconciling was not as easy as just saying, hey, my bad. Because after MC and Mai broke up, Mai ended up throwing a whole bachelorette party, inviting a whole bunch of random people to try to win a chance to date her. She did this a day after they broke up, by the way. Not saying she moved on quickly, but she's doing this to move on quickly, getting with somebody else and using them so she can forget about MC. Can't really say I agree with that method, but obviously MC's not going to just let her go through with that, so you don't got to worry about that. Though once again, I can't say I agree with the methods that are being used here. MC kind of went up to Mai and was like, hey, I don't want to be in a real relationship, but I don't want you to go out with anybody else. Even if I ain't going to date you legitly, I don't want you to get with someone else and move on from me. That's some toxic shit, I ain't gonna lie. It probably sounds worse because I'm saying it flat straight out. The moment was pretty romantic indeed, so it didn't seem as bad as I'm making it sound, but when I'm dumbing it down, it definitely sounds pretty horrible. There was a little second during that whole moment when I was thinking, oh shit, they might actually start dating, but then MC just kind of said, nah, let's prolong this shit. Actually, I want to keep you by my side, but I ain't gonna really get with you for real. But the two of them make that compromise and they go back to the trial dating. So for now, we're good with Mai again. But I introduced all the girls at the start for a reason. You should have already knew. This show would have been too wholesome if it was just MC and Mai. Just a few episodes later, MC starts temp dating yet another girl. Kodo, to be exact. The same girl that just helped him out 3 seconds ago. You see, when MC and Mai broke up initially, Mai went to Kodo to vent. Told her everything, yada yada. I already told you about that. Well, that whole little vent sesh that kind of got dumped on Kodo ticked her off a little bit. Yeah, Mai and her are friends, but that doesn't mean she wanted to deal with her emotional problems. So now to get back at Mai, she started temporarily dating MC. And you're probably thinking, why the fuck would MC even agree to this? Well, MC kind of felt guilty, and she also felt like she owed something to Mai because she just helped her. I mean, she owed something to Kodo. I know I just said Mai. She felt like she owed something to Kodo, so she started temp dating her, even if it kind of goes against the girl she's already actually dating, but she did it to make up, I guess. And now MC and Kodo are fake dating just to make Mai a little jealous for a little revenge. But once again, I'm gonna say this, if you've been around long enough, you should know fake relationships always tend to bring out real feelings. But feelings out the way, the whole point of this was to make Mai jealous, which does happen. But I'm gonna cut it short because even though MC is technically two-timing by doing this, you already know Mai isn't gonna just dump her. Everybody's self-worth is at the floor at the moment. So the three of them are gonna have to come up with the usual decision when it comes to harems. Where instead of having progression, they just decide to prolong this little in-between back and forth romance that they got going on to stretch out the plot. The usual love triangles. I don't gotta explain that to you. And since we kind of already talking about harems, the anime's finna add a +1 to their group, and this time it's gonna be Senna. I know I kind of just got straight to the point, so let let me give a little build up first. Due to some family issues, Senna ended up running away from home. And MC, being the somewhat decent friend she is, she decided to come along with her for her safety. So you can probably see where the setup is coming from. It's just the two of them on a little getaway together, and both of them end up staying the night at a resort. And let's just say while they there, they gonna have some emotional moments, and they gonna have some emotional moments. Shit, during this arc, you would have almost forgot MC was technically dating two other girls at the moment. But I guess MC had to make that double into a triple. Now, even though the two of them shared a couple moments while they was on that little getaway, they didn't officially get together. But when the two of them eventually came back home, that inevitable confession does end up happening. Now, going off of MC's past, you probably would have expected MC to reject Senna right here. You know, her whole fear of relationships, her not wanting to get with anyone because she doesn't want to lose a friend. Well, that obviously didn't hold up right here, because very surprisingly, MC ended up accepting the confession in front of Mai, by the way, the same person she wouldn't get with because she didn't want to get in a relationship. I honestly couldn't tell you what was going through MC's head right there. She made it quite obvious that she didn't want any relationships, but maybe she had a change. Maybe she actually truly likes Senna. That's probably what is happening here, because I can't even lie to you. MC really surprised me here when she accepted the confession in front of Mai, by the way. And what fucking sucks is that you did not get to see any reactions to the accepted confession. The anime literally cut right after MC said yes. And I can't lie to you, this scares me a lot. The way the anime is progressing at the moment, it seems like one of them shows where all the girls leave MC behind. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there was another anime that did that. I can't really put a name to it, but there is harems where MC chooses none of the girls, or none of the girls end up choosing MC at the end, and they kind of all move on. And in the end, MC just ends up alone, or they end up bouncing back and dating some random fucking side character. I've seen that happen a couple times. And I'm also scared because I already know next season is going to pick up straight drama, because I know Mai is going to be fucking pissed. Maybe Kodo too. I feel like Kodo's the type to let it go, honestly. But Mai, I don't know what's going to happen with her. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like there is a 20% chance that the girls leave MC behind and get with each other, especially Mai and Kodo. I ain't really put the scenes in because I didn't really have a need to, but all the girls had like small moments with each other that might set some flags up. Now, they actually already announced a 5-episode special that was going to be coming out. They said it's going to be mostly for Kaho, you know, the only one that didn't get her own arc, but I'm sure they're going to have to show some moments from this and that, unless they pull some shit where they're like, oh no, the events in this took place before the events of yada yada, so they don't gotta deal with whatever drama is gonna come up next. I mean, I know I could always just go read the manga to know what happens next, but I think I will just wait for the anime, keep the tension up. It'll keep me scared from wanting to watch the anime when the second season actually do come out.